Hello everyone, Green Man Bookseller here, and it's a book review time. Callie Cole's Tangled Webs. This copy I've got here is an uncorrected proof copy. Book hasn't actually been officially released yet. The release date is the 16th of July. From the, I think it's just that's the hardback copy coming out. How have I ended up with an uncorrected proof copy? So back on about 2 weeks ago now, roughly 28th of May, one morning I had an email out of the blue from Penguin Books publishers to say that Callie Cole, she's a local lady, she was in the area dropping off proof copies of her debut novel, Tangled Webs. It's going to be the first of three. And they asked me if I was happy for her to pop in and drop a copy off for me to have a look at. And I was like, well, yeah, I don't mind her popping in. So Callie popped in and dropped it off. And I thought, I'm going to read it. It's completely different to what I normally read, but I thought I'll give it a try anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the back. To the outside world, Sage Deverell has it all. In truth, her marriage is a gilded cage. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is start again. So it's a story about Sage. She's right, okay. What I'm going to do is, if you don't want to know, stop listening. If you don't want to know what the story's about. But so I'm going to carry on now. So Sage, she's in an unhappy marriage. She's living abroad in, I only just read the book, where is it? Panama, I think it was. Anyway, she's living abroad because her husband's a non-English gentleman. Apologies if that sounds a bit racist, but yeah, so he's married a non-English, living abroad in his home country, but it's an unhappy marriage. So her and her son escape. They come back home, and she comes from a family of horse riders, like horse trainers. It's like very much a horsey family. And I mean, her and her Sage and her twin brother, they like grown up with her grandparents, following the big spoiler, following the death of her mum. And following the death of her mum, sort of dad kind of disappeared, so they grew up with their grandparents. So she comes home to like grandparents' house, and obviously they're like horse trainers, and so she gets sort of back into the horsey world, and a bit of a romance develops between her and sort of one of her grandfather's horse trainers, a young man called Rafe. Bit of a romance sort of develops there. But her husband, soon to be ex-husband, he's causing issues. He doesn't want to let go. He's a pretty controlling guy. And this story's all about how she's trying to move on, but her soon to be ex-husband is creating problems, like trying to control her, trying to stop her from leaving. And it's all about various sort of webs that are being woven, hence Tangled Webs. Considering this is completely different to what I normally read, I was kind of drawn into it. I personally found it interesting enough to keep me going. And I ploughed through it in about a week, which is pretty slow compared to what some people read. I mean, some people can get through a book like a dose of salt. But the way it ended took me a bit by surprise. I mean, I could tell. I mean, as I was getting towards the end, I could tell there was going to be something going to happen involving Sage Deverell, soon to be ex-husband. But yes, I didn't quite work out exactly what was going to happen. So the cliffhanger, yeah, it was a bit of a surprise to me, and it was enough of a cliffhanger to make me think, I want to know what goes on next. So, and I've got to wait until next year for book 2 to come out. So, I mean, the fact that this drew me in, despite it not being the kind of book I normally read, and the fact the cliffhanger was enough to hook me in, wanting to know more, wanting to read the second book. That to me says how good a book this is and how well written it is. And yeah, so like I said, I've tried not to say too much because I don't want really too many spoilers going on here. But honestly, I mean, there's so many sort of like machinations, so many like sort of planning, plotting, conniving going on throughout the book, throughout the story. It's like uh, kept me hooked in, kept me enticed, kept me reading, wanting to know what happens next. So yes, it's guys, this is a good book, and I'm gonna hopefully be able to order quite a few copies from the publishers to stock in my bookshop. But guys, honestly, this is a very good book, good debut novel. Like I said, the first in the trilogy. So, and I know book 2's coming out next year, and I think book 3, if I remember rightly, book 3's scheduled to be out in 2028. But yeah, guys, yeah, I do recommend it. And yeah, I mean, it's probably a very, very good book if you're into the horsey world, like horse riding, horse trading, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely recommend it. Definitely recommend it. Well, anyway, on that happy note, I'm going to bring this video to an end. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. And in the meantime, stay safe. Happy reading.